Welcome, and today we're going to talk about physically distanced D&D for free with OBS Studio and Jitsi. The first thing you're going to want to do is download OBS Studio, the Open Broadcaster software. Then you'll want to download this OBS Virtual Cam plugin. This will allow us to take all of our inputs for our cameras and everything that we have set up in OBS Studio and use it as a webcam essentially for Skype, Discord, Jitsi, or any other program that you want to use for your video conferencing to play your games. I like to use Jitsi because it's free and there is no installation required whatsoever. You just type in a link, share it, they click the link, and you're up and running. So in OBS Studio we're going to create a new scene, and in that scene we're going to add multiple video capture devices depending on how many webcams we have using the camera of the laptop or any USB cameras. Any USB cameras that you use, you'll want to use on the ports of your actual computer. You don't want to use a USB hub because for some reason OBS Studio doesn't really like that, and a lot of times it will not work correctly. Let's go ahead and name our camera. This one that I'm doing first will be for the map. I have another camera for my laptop that I use for the DM, and an extra camera that I use just for a side view if I need it. It will pull up the dialog of the option of the cameras that we have. We're going to select the camera for our map. It will show us a little preview there. We can go through and configure any of the video settings that we would like. You can also invert the view so that it's upside down if you want, or if it looks upside down and you want it to look upright, you can flip it right there. I'm going to do mine normally, so I'm going to disable that, and then just click OK to add that camera. You can also add images as scenery for a background. You can create your own and make little spots for your camera views to fit into, kind of like Critical Role if you've ever seen that, where they have each person in their own little box. I'm just going to use simple backgrounds that I'm just going to cover up because the bigger the view of your cameras, the better it will be on the views for your users. The sources work like layers, so you can move them up and down to have it above or below other layers. So if you don't see your camera, make sure that it's at the top of your sources. You can move your camera view and then resize it and play around with it and move it how you want it. You can also crop your view by holding the Alt key and clicking on one of the red squares and dragging it to crop. For this scene I'm going to add my other extra camera as a party cam, even though my party is not going to actually be physically present. And then I'm going to create a couple more scenes that I can switch between and have my different camera views in different positions. And it's really simple, just go through the same steps of adding your cameras. We're going to leave the audio as capture only because we don't need any audio. With OBS Studio you could stream directly to YouTube or other streaming services. You could also just record your session and either play it back later or upload it to a streaming service. To add a second scene, and I'm going to call it DM map because I want to show the DM and the map. This is just for my reference so that I know which scene is which in my scenes tab on the left. You can switch between scenes either with the arrow keys or by clicking on them. To add the inputs for this, we can just choose from the existing ones that we've already done. Add a background image, but you can't name it the same name as the other scene, and it will tell you it already exists. So I'm just going to change it to background 1, and then I'm going to select my background to put in there, and I will add my DM camera. The ever mysterious DM. No, there is not anything wrong with my camera. I've blurred out the faces of participants in this video to protect their privacy. going to rename my initial scene so that I can tell the difference between it and my DM and map screen. This one will be our map and our party, or side view. And just for fun, let's add one more scene that has all of our cameras on it. Now that our cameras are set up, we're going to adjust them so that they can see everything. Here I'm using a tripod with an overhang to see the map, and I also have my laptop, an extra microphone, and then I use a computer to monitor to show the party that's on Jitsi. Now all you have to do is adjust your camera to see exactly what you want your party to see. If you have issues with glare on the map like I have here that I didn't take care of, it's because there's a light shining directly down on it from above. Turn that light off, use a lamp or other light source, and shine the light directly up, but not into the face of the camera, and that will get rid of that glare. Once it's situated, I like to put marks in each of the corner on the map so that you can see what it is that your camera is seeing and know where your minis can be and what you draw will be in that zone that the party will also be able to see. And then start your virtual camera from Tools, Virtual Camera. Make sure that it's set to auto start and that it is already started. Start it if it hasn't been started already, and it will be an available device when you go into Jitsi. Type in whatever you want for your meeting name. In this case, let's do some D&Ding with friends. And then go. It will create the meeting. Allow it to use your devices, and you can change which device you want it to use. In this case we wanted to use the OBS camera, and I have a separate microphone that I want it to use, but you could use your default microphone or whichever microphone you want. And there you are. Now it gives you the link that you can copy and share with your friends, and they can also join. You may notice that on your screen the image is flipped to what it shows on OBS Studio. That is perfectly normal. They are seeing it the direction that you see it in OBS Studio. You can copy the link and email it to them. Make sure that you put in a name to display. They will also put in a name so that you know who is who. Obviously, I am the DM of Awesomeness. Not really. Our friend who introduced us to D&D is the DM of Awesomeness. We can only hope to aspire to his awesomeness. Once you're in the Jitsi meeting, you can add a password, invite people, change views, mute or unmute others, share your screen, chat, start a live stream or recording, share a YouTube video, and much more. So now you're all set to be safe and physically distanced while still being socially gathered. So get those groups together and start having some great times. If you like this video, make sure to show it by clicking the thumbs up, sharing it with your tabletop gaming parties and friends, and click that subscribe button. Want to join the party? Become a patron of Geek Happens on Patreon and share your ideas while leveling up your gear with discounts at 3dmtabletop.com on dice, miniatures, dice towers and cases, DM tools, map accessories, and more. Go get your game on. Hopefully not a TPK.